Black Bay 58. Tudor, you can actually buy it slightly cheap on the secondary market. Better.
But Imad, an Omega and a Tudor, they're not in the same level, according to me. Guys, be careful when you buy TAG Heuers. Be careful. No, because I know anyone who's watching this, you all need to be careful when you buy a tag or any watch.
Like, bro,
It's
chill out
easier to
sometimes,
have
man.
automatic watch, obviously, but there are some old-fashioned people like me.
Alrighty, TikTok podcast episode 2. We're back here on a Sunday with my hot seat co-host from last time, Zidni Farid. Zidni,
Hi,
how are
guys.
you, Mazang? How's
I'm
it
doing
going?
good. It's a Sunday, fasting. The only day I get to sleep.
Yeah,
or
alright.
rest.
Let's go. Up
But
the
we're gonna
energy.
do this because of the watches, right?
Yes, for the love, for the
For the love,
community,
the commitment,
and the
for
commitment.
these.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. How's it going? How's it been since the last episode? What do you think of the last episode? Our first episode
I think
together.
it was good. I think
it was pretty good.
Yeah,
And then we
it
went
was
on
chill.
to do a video for you on TikTok as well.
On
I think
Sinhala.
that did
There are
better.
people who understand Sinhala in Sri Lanka. Y'all can join my podcast.
Yeah, watch that
It's
if you
not a
haven't.
podcast.
Watch
It's
that
just
if
a
you
meetup
haven't.
session.
It's Zidni has weird names for these things, but
I'm a
it was,
weird guy.
it was a fun video. Usually people don't let me talk. Zidni let me talk. I think I spoke for about an hour.
'cause
It was actually a really, really good. I would actually go to say I think I found that video a little bit more interesting than our own
yeah,
podcast.
because Imad see the knowledge that I don't have much of a knowledge when it comes to watches.
Yeah.
Right? I know a bit, but you know at least 3 to 4 times more than me.
Oh,
And you were
thanks.
portraying that on the podcast. So guys, you should go check it out on.
And then hopefully we can make this podcast as interesting as that video.
Yeah.
But check out our videos first before you check out Zidni's.
For that, I should be asking you questions.
That's true. We're going to try that
Let's
today
try
to see
that
if
today.
Zidni
Yeah,
can ask
okay.
me questions here. And not to say that the podcast was boring. Huh? I'm just saying that it was... it could have been more. And that's what I hope for it. I have big plans for this podcast. So slowly,
Okay,
one
enough
episode at a
about the
time we're getting there.
podcast. Let's get into what.
Yeah, let's get into watches.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, it's March. So if you know anything about the watch industry, April, March time is when most of the brands start releasing their new releases for the year. I say I don't like to talk about it, but I end up always talking about it. So it's a mix of both. But I mean, I guess the first topic for today's episode has to be the 2025 releases, predictions, and trends for what's going to happen.
Don't they discontinue watches also at the same time?
Yeah, so when they release
Yeah.
new watches, sometimes the old watches
See,
get
when it comes to
discontinued.
these new releases and stuff, I haven't read up, kept in touch.
Okay.
Right? So why don't you tell me what are the new watches which
No, I mean,
they are
I
planning?
don't know either. But just to give everybody and give you a so just to give you a TLDR of how it usually happens, right?
Yeah.
At the moment in April, first week of April, in Geneva, there is a show called Watches and Wonders, where most of these brands come out and release their watches. 5 years ago, it was a lot different. There were 3 shows during the year. There was the there was the SIHH show, and then there was the I cannot remember the name. There was the
Fasting brain fog, guys.
yeah, sorry. Anyways, there
Rendering.
used to be 2 to 3 shows for the year,
Yeah.
where different companies would come and do. But now that all got scrapped, it's all changed now. There is one show, but also it's mostly Richemont brands, if I'm not mistaken, and a few others. Rolex is there, Patek is there, I believe. I haven't also followed up in a long time. But so there's this main show. What I'm trying to say, where the brands come and release new watches.
Okay.
If you're not at the show, the brands do their own releases as well. For example, AP started doing some releases last week because it's their 150th anniversary.
Ooh.
So those are some big
That sounds
releases.
interesting.
Yes, there were some big releases maybe that we can talk about.
Yeah.
And then you'll see Rolex doing their drops, which everybody is most anticipating at this show. Patek will release their new watches at this show. 1st of February, though, Patek discontinued a whole line of
I saw.
Nautilus and Aquanaut. So that already happened 1 month in advance. So new releases will be released in April. And then all the brands that we know and love, like Cartier, Omega, TAG Heuer, most of the big brands will all do their releases in April.
Okay.
But there will be some brands that do it outside.
So what are the rumors? Like what are the watches which are supposed to come out? I heard of something that goes with black and red coming out.
Yeah, so I mean, so no, it's important. You can break it down actually to a few these things, because yeah, AP had their 150th anniversary this year,
Yeah.
but also a lot of other brands and a lot of other models have some big anniversaries this year. So for example, this year is the 70th anniversary of the Rolex GMT Master. So that is a big deal, especially for Rolex. If you go, back, especially things like the Kermits, the day dates, they celebrate these milestones either quietly or in a big way. So obviously the GMT is probably their most widespread and most popular model, other than the Daytona, obviously, right? So everybody's hoping and talking about a Coke bezel coming out this year, so the black and red. Everybody has been always wanting it.
Imad, out of these GMTs, what's your favorite GMT?
The Sprite.
Huh?
The Sprite. Easy. Always.
Okay.
Anyways, as I was saying, so the rumors of the GMT Coke coming out, or the red and black bezel, it seems like it might. Even if that doesn't happen, they're definitely going to do something to the GMT lineup.
Yeah.
And even though the Panda Daytona, I say, is the hottest, highest waitlist watch, in my opinion, especially on the secondary market, the watch that sells the most is the GMT Master, because you have a variation of 4 or 5 watches to go for,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
Actually 8 if you consider the bracelets.
Yeah.
So whatever Rolex does come out of this year is definitely going to be a hit. But another watch that I'm more keen for actually is because it was, let me see, it's the 80th anniversary of the Datejust.
Okay.
Older model than the GMT, and I would say a lot more classic. Everybody knows the Datejust. So they have never really done anything exciting for an anniversary for the Datejust. So I'm not sure if they're going to do it this year. They have done the Jubilee dials, what people call the computer dials. But it'll be interesting to see if there's a special
The motive
day.
dials.
The motive dial already came and went, right? So that wasn't an anniversary model. So we've got to see if they do anything for that. So yeah, and then people are talking about things like the celebration dial OP getting discontinued. There are rumors of the Sprite getting discontinued. Some people still want the Pepsi to get discontinued. I honestly don't know. Okay, I don't buy and sell based on what's going to get discontinued at the end of the day, because that shouldn't really be a reason why people buy and sell watches. But I mean, it's exciting still to see. Even I am anticipating to see what happens in April. We are hoping to do a special episode for that that I have under the works.
With the watches.
No. But so that is
Hopefully
for
with
Rolex. So
them.
it is going to be a big year for Rolex, right?
Yeah.
And then another brand that had a big year was the Vacheron 222. They released the steel version in Feb again. So another big release for the year from a big brand. Like we said, Patek discontinued the 5167A, the 5712, and a whole range of other models. So that's also again one of the biggest brands in the industry.
How does the discontinuation of a watch affect its
secondary market value?
Yeah.
If you asked me this in 2020, I would have told you the price goes up 50%. But now, like, especially best example is the 5712, that 5712 1A. So that was the last stainless steel Nautilus in Patek's lineup, right? So those were sitting right at the $120,000 range.
Yeah.
So back in 2022, if that happened and it got discontinued, you'd have seen it selling for 150 to 200,000. But today, even
200 plus.
yeah, but now even after the 5712 was discontinued, prices are almost same much, and there are no sudden surges in prices now like they used to be. So it's pretty chill.
So
it doesn't really make a difference to the secondary market if prices discontinue. Like if a piece gets discontinued.
But Rolex, it's harder to source, right? When it's harder to source, the price does jack up a bit.
But over time, right? Not overnight, prices don't go up like they used to.
Not like
in 2022. Because the best example, even though a lot of people overlook this, the Rolex OP41 Tiffany dial, right?
Yes.
That was made for 2 years.
Yes.
There is an actual if you did want one, I can go and source one out for you. But I could source a Panda Daytona faster than I could source a Tiffany OP, because it was produced for 2 years and there is an actual scarcity of it in the market. So, and that also the prices, when it got discontinued, it went up like $30,000-$40,000. Stupid. But over time, yes, prices will increase as the scarcity increases. That is normal in any market, in any collectible, in any economy. So that is fine. Hublot Big Bang 20th anniversary this year, 2025.
Bro, everyone shits on Hublot, right?
I also
But
am
I
not-
like it.
I'm not
I
the
love
biggest
the
fan.
brand. I love how it looks.
I mean, I
right?
don't love
like
the
the
brand
vibe.
per se, but yeah, I mean, for the money
not,
on the secondary market, it's a good watch.
Yeah, it's a nice watch.
So I don't think that 20th anniversary model is going to be something that sells well. Hublot makes a limited edition for absolutely anything. But I think it's good to just to have like a mental milestone that it's been 20 years since the Big Bang came out.
Yeah.
That at the time when it came out, it was revolutionary. They did. Some people say that AP did the offshore after Hublot did the Big Bang, right? Because it was again all in the late 90s. Hublot was Panerai, Hublot, AP offshores. Big 44mm watches were a big deal back then. So it's interesting and cool to see that
Hublot, they invested a lot of money on the rubber.
Yeah, I mean
strap,
the use of materials by them is really interesting. So 20 years of the Big Bang, I think that's going to be interesting to see what they come out with. Still, it's not going to be anything great, but another big anniversary, last one of my a new favorite brand of mine, Gerard Perregaux Laureato, 50th anniversary.
Man.
Right? So if you track the timeline, if 2025 is the 50th year, that means it came out in 1975. Patek Nautilus came out in 1976, I believe. Sorry, AP Royal Oak 1976, Nautilus 77, if I'm not mistaken. So that technically puts the Laureato before even the Royal Oak.
Oh wow!
So that could, again, I haven't done enough research into it. I just was reading up online and stuff. So
yeah, I didn't have time to do any of this.
That could technically put the Laureato as the first stainless steel sports watch, even before the Royal Oak and the Patek Nautilus. That's interesting. We have one in stock. Check it out. What else?
This is the watch. Wow! Look at that.
What do you? I mean, as somebody who's not really in the industry, full time, or really follows these kind of things, what do you think? Do you see like shifts in consumer behavior or in the market around this time? Because we see a huge change.
Well, again, my clientele, I do feel like that they don't go by like very expensive watches anymore.
Okay.
Well, they do invest, right? But a lot
watches
of
are
people,
not an investment. You mean like park money?
You can park money in it, yes, unless another COVID hits. Right? But now I see a lot of clients, they like old watches, antiques. I see vintage watches. There's a
small surge in Sri Lanka, I feel. Actually, you know what I realized?
It's not a small surge, bro.
There have been a small bunch of serious collectors. But they were all in the dark. I also just met one gentleman about 2 weeks ago. Probably has about 100, 200. Again, doesn't have to be expensive.
It's necessarily not expensive watches. They collect it because of the passion.
Yeah,
bro.
but you never would, if you met him on the road, you'd never think he was a watch collector.
Oh yeah, I know a guy like that. He has 3,000 watches.
Yeah, so even this guy.
No one knows.
Yeah, and like, I was like, where are the, like, I have never come across people like that in Colombo. I never thought people collect watches like this.
Yeah.
But this guy, he was like, he works on some of his own watches. He has his own technician that helps him work on watches.
Bro, and there are guys who have like proper facilities where and they've got all the machines to fix a watch.
Yeah.
And they don't outdo.
That's also, I feel like it's only now you're starting to see these people actually coming out a lot more.
Now you see them coming out.
Yeah.
But they've always been there since back in the day.
Yeah, so even this gentleman that came, he really, really nice guy. He came in a sarong in this thing.
Yeah.
No stress whatsoever. He bought a few of his watches. Like, I want to trade this. I want to go for a watch.
Yeah.
He came and bought an Explorer from us. And then he bought watch in 5 minutes. We're talking about the watches he has for about 20 minutes. Hopefully he's watching this. And like, he's few hundred watches that, he's been collecting, and he's very serious. I was like, Masa, how do you source like parts and all of these for these old 50-year-old watches?
Yeah, no, that's
sourcing parts.
Nuts.
I don't have the patience for that anymore, unfortunately.
That's the thing. So this is a hobby, right?
Yeah, a lot of people actually do it.
Yeah,
so
it's a hobby, and it keeps them going.
Yeah.
Because some people are addicted to drugs, some people are addicted to vehicles, and some people are addicted to
I think it's going to get us like demonetized or something.
What?
You're going to get us demonetized or something.
No, it's maybe TikTok shape. But yeah, so even cars, right? Just like that. Watches, it's a big scene.
Yeah, it's I think it's coming out, and that's I think that's pretty cool that
So, yeah.
people are starting to get more comfortable to talk about. I feel like a lot of people used to just collecting stuff, but not really.
And it's also,
talk
I
about
believe, if you are a collector, you need to have like a really good vintage piece with history.
I mean, you don't have to, but
you
that's,
have to.
I feel
if
like
you
that's,
are a collector, if you're getting into the scene, it doesn't have to be an expensive watch, but needs to.
I mean, you have to have an appreciation for vintage because that's where it all started. Right? That's where
Yeah.
it all came from.
Yeah, like
So-
how the movement changed, bro.
Yeah, movement and
From
also
a basic escapement to a like a
Like to
all
now
axis
tourbillon,
tourbillon,
yeah.
right?
true.
Right? And from like the power reserve from like what 30 hours or 28 hours.
Even less.
to
I
a-
mean,
yeah,
to
even
not
less.
having like even automatics back in the day. Like
Yeah.
they were just a manual wind
The
watch.
founding
pop, pop, pop.
fathers, vintage watches.
True.
You're gonna
I
love
mean,
it.
that's
I
also
love it.
coming in with the releases. You know, if you some brands like Tudor, Omega also focusing a lot on bringing back heritage pieces or doing modern interpretations of their vintage pieces. Like Tudor is killing it with their black page, and they are all a reimagination or like a reincarnation of the Tudor Black Bay divers from back then. So a lot of brands are also going back to their roots. Back, what is that? You don't like the Black Bay?
I'm not a huge fan, brother.
Loser. Why? Because it's Tudor, or because you don't like the Black Bay?
No, I
You don't like
like,
Tudor?
it's overhyped.
What?
It's overhyped.
Tudor is overhyped?
Yes.
Matsang, you are okay.
For me, I feel like it is a personal belief. I like the copper one that they did, right? That looked very nice.
It's bronze, bro. What
Bronze
are you
one.
talking about?
And,
you don't even know what they do, bro.
But not
So
a huge.
what do you think
Tudor
about the
fan.
Omega Seamaster? Let's take a hot take here. Since you're
Don't
trying
do
to
that.
fight me. Huh?
Don't do that.
What do you think about the Seamaster?
I love it.
Exactly. Why? Because, everybody loves an Omega.
No.
But Tudor? Oh no, Rolex's younger
'cause
brother,
I saw-
so it's not that
no,
good.
because I like the Seamaster because I saw it on James Bond, and ever since I saw it on
Exactly.
James Bond, I love it.
See, you like it because James Bond would. Even the first watch I ever watched was
Yeah, I
No
didn't see
Time.
no Tudor on James Bond's wrist, man.
Yeah, bro, because the people wearing Tudors were too busy doing actual work and not just being in a movie.
True.
But
The working class, yes.
But like again, no dig against Omega, but
Yeah.
I am going to keep saying this. I
Yeah.
think, especially at the price point, like Tudor Black Bays and Omegas at the same price,
If you come,
Tudor
yeah,
makes a
yeah.
much better product.
Yes, I
Omega
would
might
say
feel more
yes.
refined, but
Yeah.
if I compare the Omega Seamaster to something like a Tudor Pelagos or a Black Bay 41
Price-wise-
or a Black Bay 58, Tudor you can actually buy it slightly cheap on the secondary market.
Mm.
Better.
But Imad, an Omega and a Tudor, they're not in the same level, according to me.
Why?
Oh no, it doesn't feel like it. For me personally, I like Omega more. Not a huge Tudor fan. But there are nice Tudor watches I like. There are some
I
watches
mean,
which
I
are
can't
nice,
hate Sydney for this, but
right? But
I
it's
say
my
okay,
personal
it's
belief,
personal
man.
preference.
You gotta respect it.
But that is something that I keep saying that I feel like we need to have a change in mindset.
I feel like Omega doesn't get the respect that it needs.
I feel like, again, I'm going to get so much slack for this. I feel like Omega is overhyped.
I am gonna slap you right now with my slipper if you say that. Omegas are beautiful.
I mean, they make good watches, yes,
What's
but
this
they make
guys?
like a million different models, man.
Huh?
If you tell me you like the Omega Seamaster, I'm going to be like, which one, Macha? You want this Omega Seamaster Professional, Seamaster
Yeah.
Aquaterra, Seamaster Planet
Yeah.
Ocean, Seamaster this limited edition, that limited edition, summer
Variety.
edition, winter edition,
It's a variety.
Olympics edition, Winter Olympics edition, 007 edition.
Oh, the 007 edition is actually
There you go.
pretty lit. Huh?
Macha,
It
like
looks
last
so
week I had a
nice.
client asking for a 007, I was like, oh, which one? They make like 18 different ones of them.
So yeah, so that a lot of people can own it. But in the end, they will always know what a Seamaster is because of that design. The Black Bay, there's gonna be a lot. You walk into a room of like working class men, you'll find at least 3 to 4 people, depending on the country, wearing the same Tudor watch.
Are you mad?
Okay, see, you have your way of thinking.
I am-
saying this is good, right?
I
We
mean,
can
this is not
disagree.
scripted, by the way. This
And
is completely. out of the box from Sydney, which I am surprised. I thought
there are some people who don't like Hublot, right?
No, but I thought
And
I
love
thought you
Hublot.
were open-minded, bro. But for you to say that,
I look, Imad. What I'm saying is, some people overhype Tudor too much.
who is overhyping Tudor? Like Tudors are still not getting the recognition that they need.
Like you.
Machan,
And Omega deserves a better, place.
everybody buys Sea Masters and Constellations, especially in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
But I sell like a Sea Master for 1.5 million bucks approximately.
Yeah.
I can sell a Pelagos for 1.2. I can sell a Black Bay for 1.2.
Less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a better finished product, especially as a dive watch.
I do not question the finish. I do not question the build. And even the look is nice.
And the movement as well now.
The movement also is amazing. It's in-house now.
Yeah,
right?
now it's the in-house that we make
Exactly.
Breitling.
So-
Super robust.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is it is Rolex's sister company. Again, not to say that, okay,
I think
just
that-
because it's Rolex,
Yeah,
but
I think that's right. This is the company.
Masa, Sydney is not as open-minded as I thought he was, guys. He is a...
I would wing
he is a
it.
stuck-up Sri Lankan uncle.
Puta, you're right. I don't like Tudor.
Anyways,
I like
but
it.
I guess...
I
mean,
respect Tudor. It's a nice watch. It's actually a beautiful watch.
Yeah, I mean, I
And their vintage pieces are also very nice.
Exactly.
Oh, we sourced the super cool vintage Panda. Remember with the champagne dial? Like a chronograph.
we sourced that. No, we sold one. We bought one, right?
You know, I found it.
Yeah.
That was a nice
yeah,
watch.
that was
that was a
the-
nice watch.
That was the what? That was a Prince chronograph. Actually, yeah, that was a
Yeah.
Prince chronograph. That
Yeah.
was a really, really nice
The
one.
one with the Rolex crown.
Yeah.
The ones with the Rolex crown, I like. Typical Sri Lankan uncle, guys.
Okay,
Okay,
moving on.
moving on.
Another quick thing to touch on since F1 is starting next week.
Oh.
This is kind of old news, but I just want to bring it up because Sydney is not into F1. So we just want to see what he thinks. Rolex is now no more the sponsor of Formula 1. TAG Heuer is back.
He's back, yeah, okay.
Is now the official timekeeper for the F1.
Okay.
They were until 2013, and apparently then 2015 Rolex took over. According to Diluca, there were 2 years when Rolex and TAG Heuer both sponsored the Formula 1. I have no idea how that happened and what that looked like. But it's interesting that that partnership is back. Rolex, I think, looked very good on Formula 1. But if you see, there were no Formula 1 drivers wearing Rolexes and things like that. If I'm not mistaken, there are no drivers that are like brand ambassadors for Rolex either. TAG Heuer, on the other hand, for as long as I've been alive, has a Formula 1 range.
Yes.
The entry-level series or the entry-level catalog is called the TAG Heuer Formula 1.
And even Monacos have a Formula 1 design.
I'm not
Dedicated.
sure.
Yeah, I've seen.
They do?
I've done a strap for it.
Okay, I haven't seen. Again,
Yeah.
might be a limited edition.
Yeah.
Again, I love TAG Heuer. It's close to heart brand of mine. I prefer Heuer though, not TAG Heuer. Wasn't the big. Still not the biggest fan. The direction the company took after being bought over by TAG.
I agree.
But that's not what we don't want to have another controversial topic here. But anyway, so they came out. So the Formula 1 partnership has now begun. So season starts apparently on the 16th of March. So go watch your Formula 1 if you're into that. But now TAG Heuer can start redoing the Formula 1 collection. They have come out with a new line of watches, especially for this season for Formula 1. Again, I feel like I'm being really negative on this episode, but I think they look horrendous. They're 43mm wannabe integrated strap watches. If
I
the
didn't
Luca
see
can put
these.
up like a picture of it here,
I've been
I
so
am
busy.
very sad. I think they look really bad. Let me see if I can. put it up for you.
Show it. But see, the watches back in the day, Ima, don't you believe that the quality of TAG, right, the build has reduced by like drastically?
After they got bought over by Heuer, when they were just when
No,
they
TAG. That was a different
Yeah.
scene. But I'm saying pre 2016, 2015, and post 16-15. Like the production, I think they manufactured somewhere else.
No, it's gotten better now actually.
What?
Yeah, 44mm case size. This is the new releases for.
They don't look that bad. Let me see it on Zoom. Hey, it don't look that bad, man. Like it. See, we have. Oh, it looks beautiful. It looks nice. It looks like a toy, but it still looks very nice.
Exactly. So I don't know
Yeah.
how much it's gonna cost and all of that stuff, but
Obviously, not too much because it's TAG, but. Right?
but
But it looks nice. It looks like a proper sporty watch. Like, yeah.
I don't know, man.
I used to
Starts
wear
at
that for a long
4,600 Swiss francs, goes up to 5,300 for the Red Bull Racing Edition.
It's okay price, I guess.
Yeah.
But there are nice TAG watches. Like, I love the Monaco. And the Aqua Race, I love it.
I have always just been a fan of the.
But I have to say is the build quality is not as good as the rest of the watches.
I actually feel like
The old watches were much better. I've used TAG, bro.
until the 90s, and then they became a bit more like.
I'm not talking about oil. I'm talking about TAG.
Yeah, so 90s it was TAG. So if you think about
Yeah.
the 90s,
Yeah,
TAG Heuer, Lynx, Formula Ones and stuff like that,
Mm.
they I feel were a little bit more. Yeah.
But even the bracelets.
Yeah, they were better quality.
There was, it had a unique touch. to
Yeah,
it.
so I feel like early 21st century they started making it a bit more mass market. So I know, for
Yeah.
example, because my father has a TAG Heuer Link from 1995.
Mm.
So that the bracelet and the clasp is a solid milled clasp.
Mm.
But if you go to Aqua Races and like links from the 2000s,
Mm.
they have what's called it's called it's the thin Yakada clasp. It's
Huh?
called what is it called?
I should be knowing this because I work with
Mill
straps,
clasp versus stamp clasp. It's
Stamp.
just a small piece
Oh
of
yeah,
tin.
even the stamping
Yeah,
behind the watch, like
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
shit now.
So so Formula One, that is something that I mean, still people are going to look forward. It's going to be interesting to see where TAG goes with it,
Mm.
and if it actually
know,
helps.
dude. And guys, be careful when you buy TAG Heuers. Be careful. No, because I know anyone who's watching this, you all need to be careful when you buy a TAG or any watch.
Yeah,
Right?
but yeah, tags.
Tags.
Obviously, what
Yeah.
will be interesting is to see how the brand goes from here, because
Yeah.
obviously Formula One is one of the biggest now, sporting these things in the world. So if that actually starts helps TAG get into the spotlight a lot more, because especially behind brands like Omega, Tudor, Rolex, and all of that, I feel like they're really overshadowed now.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens to TAG.
Omega and Tudor.
Okay,
Yeah,
another
TAG.
quick
Yeah.
take that I wanted to ask you is something that I came is a question that I came across last week when I was talking to a client who was trying to buy a Panerai from me.
Okay.
I have realized that a lot of people don't know the difference between. I mean, again, not that they're ignorant. It's just that a lot of people don't realize that a mechanical watch comes as an automatic watch or a manual wind. So last week I had a client that wanted to buy my Panerai,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, "You do know that it's a manual wind?" Like he's like, "Oh, that means I have to wind it every day,
Yeah.
so it's not going to run by itself." What is your take on that? And have you had any experience with clients or people between like manual wind and automatic? People actually knowing what it is and if they have a preference.
Well, my clients obviously know.
Yeah, but do they have
Like-
a preference? Is what I mean. Like, bro,
It's
chill out with your
easier to
clients,
have
man.
automatic watch, obviously, but there are some old-fashioned people like me. We like winding it,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
mean, I still do. Even
yeah,
an automatic
even,
watch, I
yeah,
still do.
even if automatic, even if
Yeah,
it's an automatic,
start the day by winding it.
you wind it,
Yeah,
so you can charge it fully.
yeah, or just
And
have a
if it
connection
might
to the
hit, I
watch.
charge it fully,
Yeah.
right? That mainspring gets properly spring.
Oh,
Yeah.
mainspring, huh?
Yeah, wow.
You didn't know that
So-
word till this morning.
No, I know what a mainspring is, right? It's
What does
just
it
that
look
I'm
like,
bad with
Siddhi?
names.
What does it look like?
I'm on a podcast. Like, you know, I don't know.
Looks like a coil. It's a
Yeah,
spring that
yeah,
gets
yeah.
coiled up and
Yes, 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 yes.
opens
yes.
and these things.
Yes, 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 yes.
So yeah, anyways, I just want to do a quick this thing to just give people a quick TLDR sort of, a mechanical watch is a watch that needs to be charged
Yeah.
for it to run by kinetic energy. So you wind it and then, like I said, the mainspring gets charged, and that's what then powers the escapement, which keeps the watch running.
Yes.
So on an automatic watch, it's the same thing, but you get what's called an oscillating weight at the back that does the winding of the watch for you. So usually if you're winding a manual wind watch, you wind it from the crown. Here you have a weight on the back that is connected to some pinion that I'm not sure what it's called, and then that when your movement of the hand that winds the watch. So essentially, you don't have to wind that watch. As opposed to a manual wind watch that doesn't get wound by you wearing it, you've got to pull out the crown, like I said, and wind it up.
And then you get like spring dry watches.
That definitely
Wow.
really interesting. But I think I want to do a
Beautiful.
full-on like video on Grand Seiko. I feel like
Okay.
we have started making it a lot more mainstream.
Yeah.
More people talking about it. So I would like to talk about Grand Seiko later on.
Man.
You wanted to talk to me about something, right? Something about some questions that you wanted to ask me. We are getting signal that we've been talking for a long time already.
Okay. Why
But
can't
there was
remember?
something that you wanted to bring up that wasn't in the plan that you wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, I did. But I can't remember.
I also can't remember it. That is fine. That
Oh,
is fine.
no.
No, we have
Okay,
more
for another-
questions. I
another-
was really
another day.
keen to have Zidni on the episode today.
Yeah.
I have a few questions to ask, like, on, like, personal taste when people would decide to buy a new watch or, sell their watch and things like that. But we'll try and leave that for the next one when we have him as a person that is not involved in the business and who is just a serious watch
Well,
collector.
but I'm not involved in the watch selling business.
Okay, then. What do you think?
The accessory business I'm involved
What do
in.
you think?
On what?
Like, when do you think a person, like, decides on when to buy a watch?
It depends on their bank account.
Yeah, I knew you were
Yeah,
going to
the
do that.
balance, bank account balance. And also it's like this. There are some people like me, right? Even though my bank account balance would be less, because, we are businessmen. We know that money is coming in, right?
Yeah.
There are some times where a rare piece comes to you for a
Yeah.
good price.
Yeah.
And then you somehow find that money and you get it. Right?
Yeah.
Or if you have excess amount of money that you want to spend, you walk into a shop, go looking for it. There
You
are
come to
some
watch
watches
boutique.
that come to you.
I mean, not for
Right.
a lot of people, right?
Yeah,
but, I
not
mean, I
for-
guess,
not
yeah,
everyone.
their
So-
favorite dealer might
Yeah.
might pop up and,
Yeah.
they'd want to buy it. Yeah, I think that's, I mean, if you just want to simplify, there are two types, it's either spontaneous or it's planned. So we
Yeah.
have people that do both. They know they want this
mm.
watch, they have a timeline when they want it, and they save up for it. So to
And
say.
also when you want to treat, like, how women go shopping for bags and shoes, men, you can go shopping for a watch or a car, right?
Yeah, so again, as I was saying, so I think it's like twofold. Some people, some people see something pop up and they're like, oh, I need that. Either they have the money or they find a way to come up with the money. Or there are most, I think, in Sri Lanka people that, know what they want and they work towards it. In the Middle East, sometimes some things pop up and they're like, oh, I need that or I would like to get that. And also, sometimes then they end up trading and stuff like that. So it's tough to say. I think it depends on the person when and how they want to buy the watch.
Exactly.
And also it depends on the watch, right? If it's a watch that's never going to come up for sale again, then then somebody would be like, I'm going to bust up my entire life savings or sell a kidney to buy a watch. But
Don't do that.
yeah,
guys.
don't do that.
Don't do that.
But the others, I think more conservative buyers will be like, you know what? Okay, I want this Rolex band at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I'm going to work for 12 months,
Straight
save it
and
up. Like
get it,
literally yesterday we had a client who's going to buy his first Rolex. He knew what he wanted. He's like, I want it brand new. I'm in no rush.
Yeah.
This is how I want
You
to buy
do
it.
get clients like
Yeah,
that.
so there are different people and,
And
want
you
to buy it
get
in
those
different ways.
clients, brand new watches, they come to me for a strap. Can you believe it? Pateks, APs. There are clients like that as well, so
Yeah, I
they
haven't
want
met
that
these
model
clients.
and they don't want to have that stock look.
Yeah, so those are Sydney's-
Modifications.
Yeah.
But a
Oh,
safe
you want to
modification.
talk about Seiko mods and stuff, but I don't think we have time for
I
that
don't
now.
think we should talk
Next
about
episode.
Seiko mods today.
But I think we need to wrap it up. I think
Yes.
this has been a fairly long episode. So I think the main topic of discussion that I wanted to highlight in this episode was the fact that new releases are out in April. There are going to be a lot of interesting developments in the watch industry this month and next month. And I want to see this time how I can try to cover those things. So on the podcast as well as on Instagram on Watch Imad, I'm going to start working on a few things on how we can keep everybody up to date with that and keep it a bit more interesting, because again in Sri Lanka I feel like everyone's only going to talk about the new releases from Rolex, but I want to try and make it a bit more interesting so people understand that there is more to just new releases and discontinuations to all of this. So we'll see how we can do that. But thank you for tuning in to the second episode of the TikTok podcast season 2 with my good friend Zidni Farid. We will be back Again, next month we try to do this once a month to start off with. But quickly before I go, last episode we had about 300 views. We're putting a lot of hard work into this.
Thank
I'd
you
really appreciate if
for watching it.
all of our friends, family, and clients and well-wishers watch this video, share it with your friends. If the video doesn't work for you, we've got it on audio on Apple Podcast and Spotify or something like that.
Wow.
So you can watch it, you can listen to it while driving, but try to support us. We're obviously the only watch podcast out of Sri Lanka. It's very popular overseas, but nobody else does it here. So
Yeah.
we're trying to make this popular thing.
Yeah, we are
Sydney also
trying-
does quite a few
'cause,
videos.
you know, like as men,
Yeah, I mean, we've got to have something to do, right?
yeah, we
Yeah,
and
like we
watchers-
are here on a Sunday morning
Yeah,
recording this podcast. So I
Yeah.
hope when this comes out on the Poya day, you guys watch it as well. Watch the entire episode, share it around, show some love. Like, comment, ask. Sorry, Sydney does that, and then we can
No,
wrap
no,
it
no,
up.
this is-
You do
you
this
did it
time.
well.
No, I think I
wanna
like
see
yours.
you do it. Honey, please do. Yeah?
If I'm going to imitate Sydney, like karanna, share karanna, subscribe karanna,
Right.
something like that. All right, thanks guys. See you in the next episode.